Welcome to a very special drawing with Lord Karnage, where I'm finishing Ethel the Cyborg Ninja issue number 2 and doing a lot of detail work and cleaning up all the fiddly bits and talking to myself. So basically I managed to derail the entire episode and spend the whole time talking about 80s action movies. So, enjoy! The end of a project, always very difficult, which is why... There we go. Cracking myself, what is this? Grapefruit sparkling water. Grapefruity. Probably not what you were expecting. I'll wait till I finish to crack a beer. Working on the last couple panels here today in Photoshop because I want the biggest screen possible. Just want to get this thing done. I am very, very tired. I like the book. I'm very pleased with it, but I do want to just be done with it. Problem with this drawing is that I changed their shoulders throughout the production of the book. This is actually one of the earlier pages. And I made a couple design changes to this character. Yeah, we're gonna cause this thing some serious pain. Ow! We're just gonna blow the arm clean off. Why not? It was looking kind of funky there anyway, the way it was connecting to the body. Because, let's see here, she's blowing a hole in the side of that thing. It's like armor plating shattering off. Bunch of screws. Probably should put some rivets in there, right? Now these things are poorly constructed. They don't have any rivets. Just a bunch of like random like VGA cables and 8-track components. Man, earlier you didn't see this, since I want it to be like a surprise reveal when you read it. But earlier I did the 80s one-liner. I wrote the 80s one-liner that Ethel drops prior to the battle scene at Station 1. They have like this running joke where he wants her to embrace 80s action movies on Laserdisc. And since she's from the other side of the universe, like she hasn't experienced all the Van Damme movies and like Schwarzenegger movies and stuff, so that's what they do in their spare time. So he's always trying to get her to drop one-liners. And she finally got it right. And I wrote that earlier. Pretty pleased with it. I'm not going to tell you. Of course, this brings up the question, what is the best 80s action movie? I mean, at first thought, you know, I tend to go Robocop, of course. But like, Robocop is brilliant on like pretty much every level that anything can be brilliant. Like, it's not just an action movie. It's like satire, commentary, and just comedy and drama all at once. Like an 80s action movie is, you know, really something like Commando. Like, Commando is just stupid, but it's fun. Got some good 80s action one-liners in there. Predator, maybe the best of them all. John McTiernan in his prime. I would argue that Predator's even better than Die Hard, but you know, that's really a win-win situation there. If your choices are between Predator and Die Hard, you've got a good evening ahead of you. Total Recall's a legit movie. You don't hear as much about that one anymore. I really enjoyed that when it was new. I remember seeing that in the theater. Seems almost plausible these days, right? Isn't that the one that had like, they had a wall of like, sort of like Aliens. They had a wall that was like a screen and showed the jungle or something. Tropical background. Of course, at the time that was futuristic. Now you could just probably buy that at Amazon, on Amazon for like 25 bucks. How times have changed. I'm not sure if Bloodsport and Kickboxer would be considered traditional 80s action movies, though they are both amazing. My favorite Van Damme movie will forever be Double Impact, though. I mean, two Van Dammes on screen at once, both dropping bad one-liners. It doesn't get any better than that. There's two of them, yes. Yes, there are. That's why it's great. Well, that and everything. Chad and Alex, right? One had the mullet. I've never seen Lionheart in theater, which just reminded me of like basically Pit Fighter the video game. Or Pit Fighter the movie, I should say, sorry. Not that that's a bad thing. Only Van Damme could pull his pants up that high and somehow get away with it. Would we consider Roadhouse an 80s action movie? It's very quotable. It's very good. It's another one you don't hear about too much. Oh. Going down the Patrick Swayze rabbit hole here. Of course, one of the ultimate 80s action movies. Wolverines. That's right. Must have seen Red Dawn 1,000 times. It's really got the all-star cast in that movie. Leah Thompson's in it too, right? Got like the Dirty Dancing cast before Dirty Dancing. Charlie Sheen. Powers Booth. Like, they just don't make movies like that anymore. Now, arguably, they are getting a little better. Gotta say, I kind of enjoyed the John Wick movies because I feel like it's basically just a combination of a John Woo Hong Kong action film, which of course are some of my favorites, combined with a video game. But it works. For those interested who watch these all the way through, Hard Boiled the movie is one of the best movies you'll ever see. No relation to Hard Boiled the comic book, which is one of the best comic books you'll ever read. So basically just Hard Boiled. If you name it Hard Boiled, it's going to be good. So if we're doing a real 80s movie face-off here, I'm doing the inks on a machine gun in the future, being used to blow up robots in a dead mall in space. I think we can all agree Robocop's number one. But it may be so good that it doesn't count as an 80s movie. So you've got like Terminator, Predator, Roadhouse, Missing in Action 1, Missing in Action 2. Both good. Weird Al's UHF is so good that I feel like it should be considered an 80s action movie, but it's more of a comedy. Wheel of Fish is like the greatest joke ever. So, I guess the heavy hitters, if you take Robocop out of the equation for being unfairly good, it really comes down to Predator versus Aliens. Predator versus Aliens. Who defeats? Because you're winning regardless of which one you watch. If you don't enjoy Predator or Aliens, then you should just leave. You're not invited. It's a tough one. On the surface, you could play cop out and say it's a tie, but if you had to absolutely pick a winner, Predator versus Aliens. God, it kind of depends on what mood I'm in. Like, the only thing holding back Aliens The only thing holding back Aliens is that Alien was so damn good. But that's 70s. Like, that doesn't count. That was a horror movie. I kind of prefer Aliens, but that doesn't necessarily mean it's a better movie. The best thing about Predator is just that I think it encapsulates everything that's amazing about the 80s, whereas Aliens could really be, it's timeless. If they made Aliens today, it might have better special effects or whatever, but would that make it better? No. I mean, Jesse Ventura with a minigun is wearing an MTV t-shirt. I guess they must sell those at Target now, so I see a bunch of kids wearing MTV t-shirts. I just assume they have no idea what it is. But of course it just makes me think of Jesse Ventura from Predator. You got Carl Weathers and Schwarzenegger, like, both, I think, and it's hard to say if that was Carl Weathers in his prime, but I mean, the man was Apollo. Carl Weathers is still kicking ass. Now the next question, since I guess this stuff's kind of hot again because Stranger Things is, well, legitimately pretty good. Channeled the 80s well. Never Ending Story part was hilarious. Have you tried watching that movie lately? I'm telling you, it has not aged well. That line, I like children. That just wouldn't fly today. Alright, anyway. I forget the line. The music was good though, the song was legit. Alright, best 80s TV show, everyone. Best 80s TV show. Not in an ironic sense, like in like I would still just watch this, which I do watch 80s TV. Like turning into my grandfather. He'd sit around and watch Francis the Talking Mule. I just sit around and watch Magnum P.I. Not that there's anything wrong with Francis the Talking Mule, it just didn't have a badass Ferrari. It did have a talking mule though. That was alright. Well, I guess I just gave away my answer there. I think Magnum P.I. is the best 80s TV show. But there's a lot of good ones to choose from. Buck Rogers in the 25th Century is always one of my favorites, but that only ran for like, that ran for 2 seasons, but we don't speak about the second season. Put Aaron Gray in like a sailor outfit instead of purple disco spandex from the future, which was like the stupidest thing they could have possibly done. So we got Buck Rogers, 25th Century, Gil Gerard. I mean, that's just a great show, good theme song. In fact, one of the best theme songs from the era. Obviously, some of the other ones I talk about frequently, you got Airwolf. Airwolf's more like mid to late 80s. I mean, Airwolf's good. Got a kick-ass theme song. Not nearly as good as Magnum P.I., let's be honest. Always enjoyed MacGyver. But I'm not sure that would be a true 80s action TV show. Like, the A-Team definitely qualifies. The A-Team's pretty awesome. I mean, who would have thought that the guy from Breakfast at Tiffany's would end up in the A-Team? So let's see, say if we're really starting to count down the best of the 80s TV shows. If Magnum is like the Robocop of 80s TV shows. But I think maybe that might have started in '79. Now there would be one argument where you could say that, but Buck Rogers has Aaron Gray, so that puts it ahead. However, I believe season 1 or season 2, Aaron Gray was in a Magnum P.I. episode. And it's good, because she's in it. This is my can of Spindrift, which is roughly the same size as the grenade launcher. It doesn't weigh as much though. Figure, let's see, get the shot in here. Got a camera on my other hand. Let's see what they like. Get the angle right. Get the shot. Camera totally different. That's about right. Bang. It's great advertising for Spindrift. Note that their cans resemble futuristic grenade launchers, blow up robot pandas, and a dead mall in space. Tastes like grapefruit. It's about right. Right? Looking good. There she is from the previous page, or one of the previous pages. Spindrift can. Alright. On the hand layer, we're gonna go. Oh, there's a break in the line. Where's that break in the line? Right there. There we go. Alright. And that goes there. Alright, I'm about to bring the frame in on its own layer. Apparently I accidentally merged it with something. Looks like a sketch. Sorry, it's easy enough. I have it saved somewhere else. Finish the shot down here. Clean up the robot being blown to bits. And there's the almost finished page. Cleaned up the inks a little bit. I'm gonna do some heavier lines around that and do some more shading, but I put in the action lines. And there's still a couple word balloons and sound effects to go, but that's pretty much what happened. What happened while we were talking about Magnum PI and Robocop and all the other good movies. I forgot to talk about the Lethal Weapons and the Buddy Cop movies, but I'll hit those in the future. They're just as good. I miss the 80s TV shows. Like, they didn't all have to be, you know, like an endless Game of Thrones series. Somehow it took Game of Thrones like 8 years to finish, and then even then it was disappointing, whereas Magnum just got the job done in an hour and he always rocked. So, I mean, I think that pretty much says it all. Didn't take Magnum 8 years to solve a crime, crash a car, bed the babe, and drink all of Robin Master's liquor.